This conference will now be recorded.
Hey Ratnakar, Sushmita, Purnima, Srihari and Rakesh. Hi everyone. Sudhir.
Hi.
Hey, hi Ravi. I saw your mail.
Hey, hi Sujit.
Hi. Thanks for the mail.
Yeah. Hope you're feeling better now.
Yeah, I'm good now. Yesterday also I was a little bit okay, but
Yeah.
that go-to meeting is also under maintenance. So it will creating some issues and all. So I thought of taking a break.
Sure. Thanks.
Saturday and Monday it was on maintenance from the
Okay.
straight away from the go-to meeting team only.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday afternoon it was up. Then I have taken in the evening sessions.
Right.
Yeah, yes, Shiva, where you are getting an issue, please let me know.
Yeah, in listener in flow one I kept configuration too, and I,
What is that configuration pointing to which port?
can I remove this one? Side is there like this
Which one? I am able
for
to
me.
see only your any point studio only. Apart from that, I am not able to see any screen.
Okay. One sec. Mm, For me in screen it is showing like this.
Please go ahead. You just go ahead. Just
Mm,
open the listener path, listener port number,
Okay.
or
And
else,
on it,
or else we'll do one thing, Shiva. Okay,
mm,
remaining guys are waiting, right? Or we can go ahead with the session. Then we'll see at the end. Please stay back.
okay.
Yeah. So what was discussed in the last session, guys? What and all we discussed?
Java module.
Java module.
So Java module. Okay, where we have written the Java module, I mean, by using a Java module, we have created one project and we used the Java module to invoke the methods present in a class and all. But where we have written all these classes and I mean, where we have written this mule application and all. Yes. Where we written this application? What is this ID used?
Anypoint Studio.
Sushmita, can you please be louder? Little bit louder. I'm not able to hear your voice. Sorry.
Anypoint Studio. Do you
Any
hear me
point?
now?
Yes. Now it is audible. So any point studio, right, guys? Right? Okay. Where we deploy this application once you develop?
Mule Exchange.
Mule runtime.
In a Mule runtime, not in an exchange. Mule runtime. So,
Okay.
but where is that Mule runtime? Did I explicitly have any Mule runtime? Did I started Mule runtimes explicitly?
No, it
No.
is embedded with Anypoint Studio.
Okay, it is an embedded with your Anypoint Studio. Okay, that will be help in the development environment. If the same application, assume that this 01 Mule basic start application which I created, assume that I want to deploy in a production environment. So how to do it? We need to have some runtime on the production servers. Yes or no? Mule, of
Yes.
course, we need to deploy our Mule applications on a Mule runtime only. That means that Mule runtime to be hosted in a Mule production servers, right? So we are going to discuss about basically 3 types of deployment strategies. What are those?
On-prem, hybrid, and Cloud Hub.
One is
On-prem.
it means standalone runtime. Okay, next.
Hybrid.
Hybrid. What do you mean by hybrid? I said on the day.
We can deployment in local and cloud both.
No. I said a combination of on-prem and a cloud. I mean, never I told we can deploy in both. There's a difference, right? So on-premise means
The runtime manager is on the Cloud Hub in hybrid.
perfect. What is the runtime manager? Raju, I'm getting some background noise from I think from your end or Shiva. I don't know from whom.
Sorry.
Okay, it is clear now. Thank you. Yeah, on-prem. What do you mean? Okay, what is the runtime manager? Someone said our runtime manager. What is the runtime manager? Okay, I will tell you. No problem. On-premise. What do you mean by on-premises?
Like within the organization, we can run the application.
Yes, it's a local server on-premise.
Your runtime is hosting locally, right? Hybrid, as I said, combination of on-prem and a cloud. That means your applications will be deployed on on-prem only, but can be managed on the cloud platform by using a runtime manager. Cloud Hub means everything
Everything is on cloud.
on a cloud environment. Your Mule runtime is also running on the cloud platform, right? So first we'll discuss about a on-premises deployment and a hybrid deployment today. Cloud Hub, we need to discuss about few more topics before going to the Cloud Hub. That's why I kept in the last. Today we'll discuss about a on-premises deployment. First we'll discuss about the on-premise and today we discuss about a cloud, this hybrid also. Okay, first we'll discuss about on-premise. What is the first step? First, I will deploy this application on a standalone runtime. Then we will see what happens whenever we start the runtime. Okay. First, what is the first step? First, we need to whatever the application you have written on your studio. First, we need to export that out of a studio. So, how to export your application? Anyone having an idea? How to export this 0.1 USB start?
Build the jar, or
Pardon? Come again.
do we have to build the jar and then go for
Exactly.
the deployment?
Just export that. Right click on this export. Under that we have a mule. Any point studio project to archive. That's a jar file, right? I'm just converting into that. So and once it got converted, where you want to place the jar file, just give the location. So for the easiest access, I'm giving on my desktop itself, so that we can easily deploy it. So it's already exists. I'm just replacing that. Now what's happening here? What's happening?
It's packaging.
Created as a jar file. Okay. It is the jar file. 01 mule basics is the jar file. Now, how can we deploy this on a standalone runtime? What is a standalone runtime? How you will be getting on your machine? Just go to the browser and just type for Mule runtime download. Mule runtime download. Under that, download a Mule runtime. So they will tell us that download for 30 days as a free trial, right? Once you download, whenever you extract that again, that zip file, automatically you will be getting a zip file now. Once you extract zip file from there, from that day one, it will be start the counting for 30 days. So no, not required multiple times to download it. Just extract it again. Of course, whatever the applications you deployed under that runtime will be erased once after 30 days, right? For the training purposes, they have given a 30 days free trial. Now agree the agreement and click on a download. Once you click on a download, the folder which I have given to you have given, I think, Can you please cross check and tell me whether I have given 2 runtimes or only one runtime, standalone runtimes? Quickly, please check and tell me. Have I given 4.3 runtime and 4.2 or only 4.3?
4.2.
4.2. Please cross check one more time. What is the name of that runtime which I have given to you? Zip file. Quickly, no one.
It's 4.3.
Yeah, what is the name? Mule E distribution standalone 4.3 is the runtime which I have given. I think so.
Yes, it's correct.
4.2 I have not given, no? Okay, it's not required. If anyone want 4.2, the old versions, please let me know. I will share it to you because I have saved on my database. Okay. I have given a what is the zip file name? Mule E distribution standalone 4.3 is a zip file. Everyone have that, right? If you download also, you will be getting the same zip file, right? Now, first thing, extract it. You will see the runtime structure. Yeah, now you can see one zip. Once you extract the zip file, you will get one folder. In that folder, you can see this is the structure of your runtime. What it contains: apps folder, bin folder where it contains some executable files, conf folder where it contains some configuration files which is important to runtime, domains. Till now, all the projects are deployed under which domain? Yes, which domain? In our Anypoint Studio, also all projects are deployed under which domain?
Default.
Default domain.
And we have a libraries and logs folder, right? And these are at the server level. That means at my mule runtime level. Now, what I need to do? I need to start the runtime. How to start the runtime? Go to the bin folder and execute this batch file. Double click on this batch file. I will talk about all these logs. Once I deploy the application, once you get a response, then I will talk internally what happens when I start the batch file. But in Anypoint Studio, explicitly did I started the runtime anytime?
No.
No, right? By default, it is enabled, right, to start the runtime. Okay, here what is the log we are able to see? My Mule runtime is also started successfully. Now, once my Mule runtime is started, can I deploy the application in that? So where I need to deploy the application? So there is something called apps folder. You need to place your applications in the apps folder. So let me copy that. See, once I place that, how can you tell me whether it is deployed successfully or not? Once I place the jar file, it got extracted and the application is getting deployed. So how can you tell me whether it is deployed successfully or not?
Watching the console for the deployed message.
By using the console, that is one way. Yes.
Here
Now,
also it is deployed. It's starting.
On the console? You want to see on the console, Suresh?
No, on MRT.
What is it? Mule runtime.
Yeah.
This is what my Mule runtime, no? This console is about a Mule runtime.
Yeah, it will show the app got started, something like that.
This is what, no? That is the log you are talking about. Started app,
Yeah,
so and so.
yeah, correct.
That is the same thing.
By posting a request from Postman.
That we get an output. That's fine.
Log.
Good idea. What is that? Here we can see one anchor file. It's an acknowledgement file for a successful deployment. How can I tell that it's an anchor? I mean, it's an acknowledgement file. Can anyone read this file? What is the data present in that?
Delete this file while Mule is running to remove the artifact in a clean way.
What do you mean by that? If at all it is deployed, then only we'll get this message to undeploy. Correct? So if you delete this anchor file, when the server is running, that means where your application is deployed and running successfully. If you delete this anchor file, it will be undeployed. When we can undeploy it? If it is successfully deployed, then only we can undeploy, right? So that is the another way. This we can treat this anchor file as an acknowledgement file if it is successfully deployed. Can I give a request now? What is the request?
So just a quick question. Do we have a web console where we can monitor the deployments? Does Mule runtime standalone comes with a web console?
No, there is no UI for this.
Okay.
Okay, that is why it's called a manual process, right?
Okay.
What is the request I need to give here? 8081 slash, I forgot. What is the path I have given there? Non-static code, I guess, right? No one remembered.
Non-static,
Bad.
static.
Bad. No one remembered. And what is the condition?
Talk
No, at least
equal.
tell me this. Non-static, right?
Yeah, non-static. It
You
is
know.
talk equal to IBM or something.
Is it? Sorry. If I get a response, that means it is successfully deployed. Yes, I get a response.
Yes.
Yes. Don't get see. I will be getting the questions afterwards. You are not deployed on the AnyPoint Studio. How I got a response? Please try to understand. Understood, everyone? Instead of
Yes.
running in the AnyPoint Studio and running in separately in some Mule runtime which is hosting on my local. Got it? That is on-premises deployment. Correct?
Yes.
Now, let me stop this. How to stop the runtime? Just trap it. Control C. Or else straight away close it. Okay. What is the first step I have done here? Can you please tell me what is the first step I have done?
We created the jar file of the application.
Okay, we created a jar file and it got exported as a jar file. Okay, application name is 01 mule basic start. Okay, next.
Started the runtime.
First, I will go with this. Let me delete all this.
On batch we have done.
Yeah, how we started the runtime? Once I download this runtime, once I extracted, this is the runtime structure. What is the first step I have done here?
In bin batch.
You have started the Mule runtime.
We started the Mule runtime.
Okay, that means I just started with a mule.batch file, which is present under the bin folder. Okay, now let me start it. I'm going slowly one by one here. I'm just double click on that. Immediately it started something called Tanuki, right? So it will start internally one application called Tanuki application. What is this called?
Tanuki.
Okay, what the Tanuki will do? It will read one more configuration file which is present under conf folder. It will read one configuration file present in the conf folder. What is that file? Wrapper.conf. Wrapper.conf. Can you please tell me, once it start, what is this? How automatically it is pointing to my desktop so and so runtime? Let me show you.
Sure.
Open this wrapper file. I'm just opening in my Notepad Plus. Before going to that, how to run any Java class?
Using Java
command. What is the command?
Java followed by the
Java.
file name.
File name? Okay, very good. If you want to pass any runtime arguments, what is the syntax?
-d.
-d?
followed by the its key value pair.
Key value, very good. -d key value. Okay. Remember this point. I am telling that my mule is nothing but a Java application. That means my mule runtime is nothing but a Java application. My Tanuku will read the configurations present in the wrapper file. According to the configurations present here, it is going to start one Java application. That Java application, I will call that as a mule runtime. How can I call that mule runtime is a Java application? Based on what configuration? See here, this is the wrapper file which has got opened, right? Now just come down. Somewhere you can see. Here you can see what type of command we are giving here.
Java.
Java command, and in that main class is point to which container?
Mule container bootstrap.
Now can I call that mule application is nothing but my Java application? If it is a Java application, which version of the runtime will be started? Which version of the runtime will be started? Just go up.
8.
Here you can see in the wrapper file, it will read the configurations I said, right? What is the first configuration which is pointing to? What happened to this? Yeah, let me go back to the line 1. Mule_home is set to so and so path. From where you can get this path? Is it the same path? Is it the same path? Right? Mule_home is pointing to the same path. Mule_home is the placeholder given. In that placeholder, it is pointing to so and so runtime. That value will be given as a value to the key. What is that key? Mule.home. So -d key is a mule.home. What is the value? Dynamically it will be changed based on the version, right? So -d, while running the Java application, I will be giving what is the key and what is the value. Based on the value, it starts the runtime. Got it? Yes, sir. How my mule runtime starts? Whenever you start a batch file, Tanuki will start. It will read a wrapper file. In that wrapper file, based on the configurations, it is going to start the runtime, right? So I said, when you are running this Java application, if you want to pass the runtime arguments to your application, that means mule application, then how to pass? Where to configure in this process? In this method, on-premises method, where I need to configure?
Wrapper.conf.
Wrapper.conf file. In this wrapper.conf, I think Arvind, you are giving an answers.
Yeah.
Please stay for a few minutes. Since you are experienced, you can give answers quickly. I let others also answer so that I can understand who are in which phase. Yeah, sorry for that, Arvind.
That's fine. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Guys, please respond. So how can we pass another configuration? See, I have given for another batch I just shown here. What is the this till 17? I have some configurations, correct? Till 17. Now, if I want to add one more configuration at the runtime level, if I want to pass any runtime for that, how can I give that? Same, just copy the line item, same syntax we need to give. Just add as one more 18. Now we can give the key value pair. How? -d, whatever the key you are configured at your application level, and what is the value you want to pass the runtime argument. Suppose if your application is at a development environment which is pointing to some database, development database, at the same time, same application, if you want to deploy in a production environment, I want that that application to point to production database dynamically without changing any code. So I will configure at my application level. Okay, if I'm deploying this application in the development environment, please take so and so file, which is configured with the development properties. That means development database properties. At the same time, in application level, properties related to production environment also written in the file and given in the application. while deploying the application in production environment or development environment, dynamically while I'm deploying, I can specify which file to be taken, which is configured with the properties. So dynamically, I need to migrate between the environments. So we need to give configuration like this. What is the key you have configured? Whatever the key you have configured, that key, like environment, anything, is equal to, if I deploying into dev, I need to give a dev, or if I want to give as a prod. One second, something happened to my GoToMeeting and all. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
I am not able to switch. Something I pressed here. Something I pressed. I don't know what. Yeah. Let me open it again. Understood clearly what I meant here and what I'm discussing?
Yes.
Any questions in this on-premise deployment? And one more thing. If my mule runtime is crashed with some other reason, some other external factors, who will start the runtime again? Who will start the runtime? Do I need to go to the match file and you need to restart it again? Double click on that. Again, this entire process will happen. Then what is the meaning of this? Mule is up and kicking every 5000 milliseconds. That means every 5 seconds. Default configuration. Who will take care of that? If at all my mule runtime is crashed, my turnkey will monitor the health, that means heartbeat of the mule runtime. If at all it is crashed, every 5 minutes it will check whether it is running or not. If it is down, it will restart your mule runtime. Okay, that's why you call this as a parent and mule runtime as a child in this process. Got it? Any questions here? Any questions in the on-premise deployment?
No.
Next part. Only one person is responding. If you are silent, I will take it as a grant that you understood. Background noise.
Yeah.
Sujit?
Sujat, yeah, someone else has a question. I'll wait.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. When do we use this on-premise deployment? Any particular scenarios?
That is depends on the project level, whether you want to go with on-premises or with a hybrid model. We are discussing about only the concept.
Okay.
Arun, you have a question.
Yeah, on a high level, can you tell me how a cluster environment can be created? No, this is a standalone environment, right? So how do we create a cluster environment?
Where you want a cluster?
Like, this is like if the mule runtime is going to crash, it's like we are running on single server. If I want to load balance or if I want to
creating the clusters, all this comes under a admin, not related to developer. Okay, just I'm giving you overview for a server to understand all the concepts. Actually, this is also not part of that, right? I thought of giving some some knowledge on the when you are blindly going and deploying the application doesn't work, right? So just I want to give when I start a batch file, what happens behind the scenes in the runtime. Creating the cluster, how to create a cluster, that will discuss in the admin part, not here. Okay.
No, but is there can you give a gist, what we may have to do to create a cluster? Is it like do we have to have?
It's a very big process, sir. On premises, if you want to create a cluster, we need to have a load balancer, right? We need to set up a load balancer, and we need to, load balancer like the Hazelcast and all. So many processes are involved there. That's why there is a separate team called admin to monitor all this environment.
Do you have any document that I can go through? If not in the class, I can go through on my own.
You need to take my another course called architecture. In that course, I have discussed about the admin part. Just to give an admin part as well. For a developer, it is not required.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I mean, Arvind, you call me, I will guide you personally about that if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So any questions here, guys, for everyone? Anyone in the runtime view? Okay. No one responding. I will take it as a grant. Guys, please
Sujit,
respond. Hmm.
So we have deployed our one jar file in mule runtime. So
Correct.
how can we check it is running fine
Based on the logs.
in mule EE log?
Here we have a logs folder. What are the applications you deployed? All will be documented in the doc, in the logs. At the runtime level, for every application, what are the applications you deployed? It will be stored under the log file, right? If you don't want this, if you want to externalize to some other, then you need to configure some tools, external tools, reporting tools, right?
So if we get one request, so if this application served that request, then that log also will get notified here.
There are different type of logs. I mean, there are system log, info level log, debugger log, many logs are there. What type of log you are asking about?
Well, suppose we have deployed one application, right? So we have sent request from our postman. So we got response, right? So that application level log also will be there.
Yes,
We
that's what we are seeing just now here in the application.
Okay.
The logs folder, we have a 01 mule basic start. What type of logs we have? Whatever we got on the console previously in the run, I mean, on any point studio, the same logs I got here as well.
Yeah, it shows only it got started, right? So I want the
I didn't send a request. I didn't send a request. I send the request, I stopped the runtime and again restarted that one. That is what the reason it is not showing.
Okay, Sujit.
Sujit, can we change the log level info to debug or maybe to error?
In the application level, you need to change. You need to add a logger. There you can see info level log. Have you observed that?
Okay, yeah. So before deployment, I mean that before generating the jar file, we need to change the log level.
Exactly.
Can we not do it runtime, like we pass the log level from the application and then change
No,
it on
this
the
is
server?
a wrapper file, which is the default. Only we can send the configurations only. I mean, runtime configurations. And let me check.
No, I mean the jar file generated once, right? And we don't want to
Yeah.
change it again, generate that again and again. So do we have anything on the server or where?
I don't
Like in
think
the
so. We
runtime?
have at a runtime level. For every application, see, if you configure it at an runtime level, it will be applicable to all the applications, right? Again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. We have an option at a runtime level to change the logs.
Okay.
I don't think so. Logically, also, it is not correct. If you change it at runtime level, it will affect it. That means the same configuration will affect to all the applications what you deployed under this environment, correct? Which is not correct.
Okay,
think
no,
so.
the my question is like ultimately the application is generating logs, right? And application is reading from somewhere that it's the info level log or the error or debug level log. So instead of
No. By default, it will give all type of logs. What you, if you get an error, also you will be getting error logs. By default, it's an info log. That's it.
Yeah, I
If you
get it,
get any error,
but the problem is like in the production server, right? You may see some latency if you're writing these many logs, like all the info logs. So in case we have to just write the error logs, which is less and less, we'll put the less load on the server. If we have to generate the error logs only, then we have to generate the jar file again. So instead of generating that jar file, if we just like update it on the somewhere in the runtime properties or somewhere else,
that's
so
what
we don't have to
that
generate the
can
jar
be.
again.
Yeah, that we can do on a cloud platform because we have an UI there. While runtime, you can, I mean, suggest the logs, what type of logs you want for that particular application. In this or standalone runtime, I have never seen that such kind of an requirement.
Okay.
I don't think so. It is possible in the configurations. That's what I'm checking in the wrapper file.
Because our application, because our application is reading the log level from the application configuration itself, right? So if there is a way that our application read the configuration from the server configuration instead of the application configuration, in that way, if we have to change log level, we just need to change at the server level, and we can just reboot or restart the server, so it will be affected, and we don't have to generate the jar file again.
That's what I'm telling. At a runtime level, whatever the application you are deploying, and by default it is giving a info level logs. Specifically, if you specify error log, that application error, I mean, according to the logger what you configured in the application, accordingly it is giving an error. I mean, the error logs or debug logs, whatever it is. I have got your point. Anywhere it is reading from the application only, any application process only. Explicitly we configured a logger in that application. That is why it is able to read the configuration. What you're telling, you want me to just do the configuration at a runtime, right? At this runtime level, whatever the application is deployed, it is getting started with irrespective of whether you use the logger or debug logger or error logger. Irrespective of that, whatever the application you deployed, it is getting deployed based on the logger information given in the application. It is giving the error logs or info level logs in your application level logs. You can see at the server also you have apps, that means logs folder. Specifically at an application, whatever the logs it is prompting, it is giving in the logs. What your question is, at a runtime level where we can configure only error level logs or info level logs for an application, correct?
Right.
That's what at application only it is reading the application, it is deploying the application, right? In that application we have a separate concept called logger concept, right? Based on that you can modify. I know you are asking about every time we cannot change to in the logger to info level log, error log level, right? Got it? You are asking some question, but we cannot do in the runtime standalone runtime. But in the hybrid or in the cloud platform, while deploying the application, you can select whether you want info level, and you can create a package also over there, but not in the standalone.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
But I will check again. Okay, is there any chance that do you have any in the standalone runtime also to specify the specific logs?
Yeah, it should have something like that because it's working Java behind the scene, right? So like whenever we deploy any Java application, we can read the
okay. Normally
log
in
level
Java
from the
applications, how you
server.
do, if you have an idea?
It's just a profiling, right? You can set the profile and you can set the
Same here
you
also
can,
we are using Spring only profiles.
yes, so you can do the profiling and you can you can read the server configuration properties instead of reading it from your application level.
Just go ahead with this wrapper file. If you find out, please let me know as well. And the configurations, can you log any info level by default or else any level logs at an application? I can't, I mean, as per this logic, I can't understand how it will be understand the specific application logs, because these are universal, right?
Yeah, I don't want to take much time here. let's go ahead and
I was thinking about it. How it is
maybe
possible.
we can talk about this later on.
Okay. Where we stopped? Maybe remaining guys maybe not able to. Just we are talking about logs. Okay, at a server level logs, how application will be captured. That's what the question. Okay, in standalone, I don't think so. We can modify at a runtime level for the logs at an application. I don't think so. It is happening, but I will check it and tell you. Okay. Next. So understood, right, everyone? Standalone runtime, how it works behind the scenes. Next, hybrid. I'm going to give a few tasks on this hybrid. Please concentrate. Hybrid model. What do you mean by hybrid model? It's a combination of on-premises and the cloud platform, right? Do I have any UI for the on-premises deployment?
No.
No.
No, right? only we have to manage. There is no management, only we have to do it manually by coming to this runtime structure, whatever if you want to do, whatever the configuration changes you want to do, correct? Now assume there is an on-premises, give some location like Bangalore, and your mule runtime is hosted in that local environment. It's a mule runtime. We have a team who is developing the code in some location like Delhi and some other location also like Chennai. Now I want whoever develop the code, at the end of the day, I want them to deploy the application to the runtime which is hosting on a Bangalore location. Normally, how it is possible? Basically, the remote deployment, how it can happen?
By SVN we can post it, or
Post it. Yes, how we can possible?
normally we use Git repository, right, for code.
CI/CD
Here
you
also.
want to talk about CI/CD?
Oh, yes.
Is it correct, guys? Yeah, Shrikant, Arvind, you can go ahead if you want. Shiva, sorry, Shrikant, Suresh. Okay, I don't want to take much more time. In Mule, there is something called, what is this?
Anypoint exchange.
Runtime manager. Runtime manager, right? Now, this is an on-prem, right? I want to register. First thing, I want to register this Mule runtime with the runtime manager. Registration means only the metadata of the runtime is present under the runtime manager. It is not hosting on a, see, basically runtime manager means what? Part of which platform? Cloud platform of Mule. What is that? Account name? Anypoint platform. Anypoint platform means cloud, right? So runtime manager is on a cloud. Now we need to register this on-premise server with the runtime manager on a cloud. Registration means only the metadata is present under the runtime manager. Example, 4.3 is the runtime. Okay, we are using. Now I want to register this runtime with the runtime manager with some name like Sujit1. Example, I'm giving some name for this runtime, 4.3 runtime as Sujit1. Now, whoever having this Anypoint platform account at an organization level, they can simply log into this Anypoint platform account and they can upload the application through runtime manager, and they can select the server, which server they want to deploy. Assume that I have one more runtime also. Assume that it's a 4.2 runtime, right? Now I can register this runtime also with the runtime manager, right? While registration, I need to give some other name, right? 4.2. So while uploading the application from the different location, we can select on which runtime you want to deploy, right? Once you are uploading, we can select the runtime version and it will be deployed onto the on-premises runtime. Simple. We are uploading the application to the runtime manager. Through runtime manager, we are deploying onto the on-premises runtime. Got it? It's a combination of on-premise and a hybrid. How these two are, how these two are getting engaged? That means how this communication is established between this on-premises and runtime manager. One agent will be created that is called Mule agent, right? So Mule agent, what this Mule agent will do? Agent itself, what? Mediator. So what it will do? It will establish a communication between this on-premises and the runtime manager, and it will be using two-way SSL verification keys and all, right? So internally it is happening like it will exchange the memorandums. See, if two countries are exchanging the memorandums agreement, they will exchange the memorandums. Similarly, two parties are exchanging the data between these two. How? By two-way SSL verification. So the keys also will be stored, Java key store, Mule agent, all the files, all the keys will be generated and it will be stored in your Mule runtime structure. So if you are not able to understand all about, ignore it. The high level, the overview is, if you want to deploy application from the remote location, just simply register the runtime with the runtime manager. In other words, we can call this as, can I call this as an UI, user interface? Previously, I don't have any UI for this Mule runtime. Now I have an UI where I can manage the on-premises runtime through this UI. Got it?
Okay, so you mean the hybrid is nothing? We are doing the same thing. It just provides the UI where you can manage your applications.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know, then maybe then what my understanding is, like hybrid is majorly used in the industry, right? Or maybe cloud. Which one is majorly used?
Both.
Both. So standalone, nobody use the standalone?
Standalone very rare. If the
Very
budget
rare.
is
Okay.
obviously you need to go with the standalone only if your applications are small, it's a startup. Subscription packages for cloud platform is very high. I mean, rates are very high.
Yeah. So people like the companies or maybe the small size companies, they follow the on-prem
Yes.
and then
Yes.
use the runtime manager.
Yeah, totally depends. We cannot generalize like that, but it totally depends on the project.
I'm just majority, right? I know that you cannot control people.
So understood the concept here?
Yep.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, Ajay.
Okay. Let me go through the. First of all, what we need to have AnyPoint platform account. How can we get AnyPoint platform account? Just go to the browser and just type for AnyPoint platform, or else I will give directly the link where you can sign up. Okay, I'm just giving in the chat box. Please use that. So this is the sign up page where we can give a name, company name, any name you can give, just dummy name, and username and password. Right? Okay, let me create. No need to change the mail ID also. So this is the AnyPoint platform account. Once you sign up, or else if you have a sign up, you can sign in as well. So once you log into this, it is an AnyPoint platform account. Go back to the architecture course, AnyPoint platform architecture course. There we have seen design center, exchange. See, mostly this access management comes under the admin level. What you asked, I think someone asked about creating the clusters and all, that comes under the access management again, right? So what is the grants to be given to the user, specific rule, specific user? What are the roles to be given to the user? At the same time, what is the environment we can create? All this comes under the access management, mainly the admin part, not under the development part. So API manager, you know what is the API manager? It's the heart here. What we do by using API manager, we can create a proxy and apply some
Proxy.
interface, right? Now I am going to discuss about a runtime manager. Let's click on a runtime manager. Now I will extract it again freshly so that you can. My runtime is started already. Let me close it. So let me. This is the Mule EU distribution standalone runtime 4.3 is the runtime which I'm going to register with the runtime manager. Right. First, let me go back to the AnyPoint platform. Sandbox environment. See, since it is an only the trial version, they are given only 2 environments, design and a sandbox. Right now, I'm going to develop the application. So for development, we use a sandbox environment. Again, in the admin level, you can see how to create your own environments also by using a. See, sandbox. We'll use a very less commodity. servers, because not required much infrastructure, and in the development stage, if it is crashed also we can build it. In the production environment, definitely we require high cost, high cost infrastructure, not a commodity servers. So it will build accordingly on the cloud, right? So as of now, we'll discuss about a sandbox environment. In that sandbox environment, we can see two parts: applications and the servers, right? So first thing, what to do? We need to register the server from the on-premises to the runtime manager, which is on a cloud. Got it? So click on a servers. Yeah, add a server. Once you add a server, if you have multiple servers, you can create as a group or create as a cluster also, right? So first, let me add a server. What is a server? First, see, if you are using a Mule 4 or below, then you need to have a Mule agent and explicitly install it, right? Right now we are discussing about a Mule 4. First, we need to define a unique name for the server. So just giving my name, right? Next, execute this command. Whatever the command got generated here, execute the command from your server's bin directory. So copy the command, go to the bin directory of your server. This is my server. Go to the bin directory, cd to the directory. Is that? I will explain that command. What is that command meant? So if you are using Windows, just remove this dot and slash, which is prefixed to AMC, right? Simple, nothing but we are executing this batch file. Which batch file? AMC underscore setup. AMC means any point management center, which is nothing but your cloud platform. So we are executing this batch file with this unique generated code. And what is the server name which I have given? Sujit1, right? If I enter that, see, one agent is getting created. Agent related libraries are getting unpacked. So 1 second. Mule home is set to so and so path. Unpacking Mule agent. So you know what do you mean by agent? It's an agent, that means mediator between two parties. What are the two parties? Any point management center, which is nothing but your cloud, and with your on-premises. Yeah, someone is asking something.
No.
No? Okay. Communication between any point management center and the Mule agent represents the on-premises is authorized by two-way SSL verification. That means what? Where the keys will be stored if it is two-way SSL? Under the conf folder, we have two files got generated. What are the two files? Yeah, what are the two types of files here? Yes, what do you mean by JKS? Yeah, JKS. I think you are Shrikant, you are from Java background. JKS.
Key store, Java key store.
It's a Java key store. Simple, right? Java key store. YML. Just now at 8:22, two files got generated. What do you mean by YML?
YAML file.
YML. But YAML means YAML, right?
Okay. No, it has a YAML extension too. So
Yeah, both we can use YML also, right? So two files got generated. Based on these two files only, my runtime manager will understand whether already the server is registered or not. So now what's got registered, those are the unique keys or the unique files got generated. So you can see the name. Sujit1 is the name which are given for the Mule runtime 4.3, right? It is created. Now, is it running? Mule runtime, is it running? No, right? This is the command for registration. Registration is done, but is it running? No, only it is created. How can I run this server? If I click on the server, this server, can I run the runtime from here? Can I run the runtime from here, from the cloud? Think and tell me here. Can I run? No, because it is not hosting on a cloud platform. It is there on a on-premise only. I'm starting the runtime. Once the runtime starts, what is the type? What is the status will be? Once it is run successfully, created status will be changed to running. That means what? My mule runtime started successfully, and the connection also between these two got successfully established. Now you can see it is deployed. My mule runtime is started, and the status also changed to created to running. Right now, how can I deploy the application once it's started? I want to deploy the same application again. How can I got a jar file. How can I deploy that? Yes, how can I deploy that?
In the apps, we have to
In
copy.
If I doing it through apps, then what is the use of this runtime manager? I can't do it from the Delhi location or Chennai location, copy paste to the on premises in a Bangalore. Like that is the reason we have a runtime manager. So go to the applications, deploy application, right? So I can deploy the application, uploading a file. First I'm uploading a file. Which file I want? All files to be displayed. I want which file? Where is this jar file? Where is this jar file? Oh, it is removed. I just copied only on that day. Let me export it quickly. Sorry, I mean, how it got deleted, I don't know. Where it is right now, it is a jar file, right? Now let me do it. So I selected the file. Now I want to deploy that application where how many servers I'm able to see if I click on a drop down, how many servers I registered?
Only one.
One, but you can see one more. That is a Cloud Hub. Since we are on a Cloud Hub, by default you will be getting an option as Cloud Hub runtime also, right? So ignore that. So this is the one which I want to, right? You can see it is acting as a gateway, and 4.3 is the runtime version which you are using. Agent version is 4.2.4.6. It's not required. And if you want to pass any runtime arguments, you can pass the in a key value pair. How I have done in a wrapper file, right? Now you can see the logging also. While this is what I told at the runtime you can select which runtime, which logs you want, right? And what is the name? Always on the cloud platform you need to give some unique name for your application. So I'm just giving Java. Okay, once it is unique, once it is identified as a unique, then only you will be getting an option as deploy application. See here, once I deploy application, this is a progress bar. It is getting uploaded. Once it got uploaded successfully, you can see the same logs on your console also. Once it is deployed successfully, that means successfully, and it is now getting deployed. What is the application name? Java is the application name. Under the Sujit 1 runtime, it is getting deployed. So guys, are you able to follow me?
Yes.
Yes, Sudhi.
Initializing the app and starting the app. Now status also will change to started. Can I give a request now?
Yes.
So stop does not exist. Am I able to deploy successfully? Right? Now you can select that, and you can manage the application if you want. Right? All these things we can see. Like monitoring, insights, all its properties, all these things we can see. Right? Now the task for you here is, once you understand the concept how to deploy your application onto the on-premises, first task you can note it down. 2 to 3 tasks I'm going to give. Please note it down. See, I have registered one 4.3 runtime with this runtime manager, right? Try to register the same runtime with the runtime manager again. Whether you can stop the runtime, or when it is running also, you can try to register same runtime, whether it is allowed or not. right? If it is allowed, please go ahead. If it is not allowed, what is the reason, right? Please read the reason why it is not allowed, which is giving on the prompt. If it is not allowed, right? Based on that, it is very easy to understand what is the reason it is giving, right? Please try to understand that and do the necessary things and try to register the same runtime with the another name. Same runtime with another name. Try to do that. While already the one server is registered, try to register server with the another name again. Okay, whether it is allowed or not, just check. If it is not allowed, I said you read the configuration, what it is throwing, error configuration, do the necessary things and try to register one more time. Try to register one more time. Whether it is registered or not, please see. Right? Okay. Assume that it is registered. Once it is registered, now try to deploy. Okay, before deploying the application, what you can do, you by this time you will understand why that runtime is not registered. So you will change the name and you will do the registration again. So at that point of time, under the runtime manager, you will be having a two runtimes. That means two servers, right? If you don't have any another server, what you can do, just edit the zip file. See, right now you are having a Mule EE distribution standalone 4.3 runtime, right? Just edit the name to another name like this, Mule EE distribution. Just change the name and try to extract it again. The path will be different and you can register one more time with the runtime manager. So it will be acting as a two runtimes. So next process is register two runtimes. So these are very easy. Just spend time on it. Register two runtimes with the runtime manager, right? Once you register, try to deploy same application on two different runtimes. On two different runtimes, right? Understood the requirement? Requirement is very important. First thing. First, try to register the same runtime while it is running. If it is not allowed, change the path and try to register one more time, whether it is allowed or not. If it is allowed, try to deploy the application on a two runtimes at a time. Okay, what is the error it is throwing? Please let me know. Any doubts in the requirement, guys?
Hey,
No,
Sujit, when you said two runtime, right? So if we just general question, not regarding this, but if we put these behind the F5 or maybe the load balancer, so will it work as like load balancer?
by default, we are not creating any clusters, right? Load balancer nowhere come into the picture.
No, I'm
Two
just
different
asking because
runtimes.
we are creating two different runtimes. If we put them behind the F5.
That's what I want you to try. How will we giving a request? We are not using any load balancer here, no. These are not the instances of the same runtime. These are the two different runtimes. I want you to deploy two different applications, not the instance of the applications. Got my point?
Yes.
Two different runtimes, two different applications. Of course, the same application only. I want you to deploy two different runtimes and give the request. Okay. Try it out. If I tell you, I can tell you in 5 minutes. No worth. I want you to practice based on the recording what we are seeing. Okay.
Yeah, will do, sure.
Yeah, please. By tomorrow, I want everyone to complete this task. It's a very important task. Please do it.
Yeah, Sujit, I have not received recording for the last session, and I got it, but that recording
You
was
need
for
to.
something else.
No. Is it?
Yeah, I couldn't find the recording for that Java module. The
Let me
recording
stop.
I got